You found me. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for tuning in, darling, because I got something super important to talk to you about today. Hope you're doing good. How's your day going? I missed you. And I've been thinking about you this last week because I've been talking a lot about, well, we've been talking a lot about how we feel about ourselves, how we're showing up. And I talk a lot about the mental or the psychological, right? When we get into those deep conversations about what makes us tick. And one of the pieces, and I've touched on it in a few times that we've talked about it, but really I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about. I feel like I'm going through this transformation, this evolution, and I love it. I love change, but change is scary, as we all know. So I'm curious if you feel any type of body shame, even disgust sometimes, right? Or dislike of yourself. I want to say, because that's a feeling that I'll always use. I'm disgusted with myself. I ate too much. I should have sucked my gut in that picture. I've got an eyelash sticking in my eye right now that's driving me crazy, right? Those types of things. But whatever, we don't get distracted by those things. But have you ever gone through, and I don't care if you're man, woman, child, or dog, have you ever had that where you're just not feeling your best self? Well, that's what I want to talk to you about because I spent a majority of my life feeling not my confident, sexy self. I tried to blend into the background. I tried to make myself as small as possible so that people wouldn't notice the way I looked. But then I was really loud, funny, and tried to be everyone's friend so that they would notice my personality. And that can be a good thing and a bad thing. And so that's what I want to talk to you is how I stepped into my confident, sexy self. And that's what I call this next evolution of myself. I love my euphemisms, my own terminology for things. But I want to talk about where I've come on my journey. So let's get started there. So when I was in junior high, I was in grade 8. I just moved from an all girl, not an all girl, that was a different story. Um, a Catholic school. I had just come from, and I went into the craziest, wildest public school in Grand Prairie, Alberta. And I was in my skirt and my nylons, and it was just my green tights that I had. These, yeah, I used to dress very, very preppy, very pretty, and that's what I showed up there. And this was like a headbanger school, party school, and I was really uncomfortable. I was always uncomfortable with my body. I developed at a very early age. I kind of looked the way I do now when I was about 13, but I started physically developing when I was 10. And I grew up as a first generation survivor, not to go to any form of residential school or Indian day school. And I also grew up Catholic. So I had this double whammy of really fear that sex was bad, but also that sex was dangerous and that your sexuality could possibly make other people do things that they didn't want to do or how to lose control of themselves. Because that's kind of was my experience and the experience of my family, not necessarily directly to me, but what my family's experience was. And then as I grew older, my friends' experience, where they didn't put necessarily their trust in the right people, or they ended up in really crappy situations that weren't their fault. And so I grew up very fearful of my body and making sure I was taught very much protect yourself. And this is, the no go zone. And so I went through school and then I came to grade 8. And I'd always kind of been not liking my body, but grade 8, people start to notice you, right? You start to your body, you start dressing a little more, you get a little more mature. You're going to, for me, this is not a good thing. I was going to parties and going to my friend's house and drinking when I was 13. So, but what I found is I started getting this unwanted male attention. And I don't even know if I did because I walked with my head down most of the time because I didn't want to encourage anyone. And so what I would do is I ended up, my nickname, and I didn't know it, became Iron Neck amongst this kind of cute group of guys that I liked. And why? Because I picked up this habit of scrunching and rounding up my back and hunching over and pushing my shoulders forward and kind of squeezing my arms together to hold in my boobs. And when somebody would call me, I, instead of turning my shoulder and maybe opening up my boob for someone to see, just even my chest, I would turn my whole body so that I could keep my shoulders scrunched up and hiding and try to minimize my chest at all times. And so that's what I found out from some not so good friends. Of course, it's always the friends that tell you those things. But my nickname was Iron Neck. And I was like, oh my God. And I don't know if I was happy or unhappy about that, because at least it meant they weren't really attracted to me, or so I thought. I didn't know what a nickname meant. I thought that was just that. So I grew up really being fearful of men and sex, because I thought that, I couldn't trust myself and I couldn't protect myself. And that was just, again, the experiences and the knowledge that I had. So as I go through high school, I kind of have some failed. I never had a boyfriend. Would get teased by my friends. A lot of them were young teen moms that were, had kids and stuff when my one friend was about 14, I think, when she had her first child. And so I was this virgin like good girl. And so I started getting made fun of it, that I was still a virgin and that I didn't have any boyfriends, and started getting questioned about, oh, are you playing for the other team and whatnot? And I went through this, I don't know, maybe I am. Maybe that's what's going on with me and why I'm not wanting to be connected with my body or with men, or not look anything. And another traumatic experience, I had one of my friends who, she did not like her body, but she thought I should like mine because I did look good. So she would help me design, put together outfits. And then she would convince me to wear them. And thanks, Steph. You're beautiful. I wish I would have listened more to you now. But I remember being at the mall one time, and literally, it's so funny. I had on stretchy, like exercise pants, just knee pants, right? Whatever you call them, like crop workout pants, a tank top, and then a big button up shirt tied up over it. Well, she took my button up shirt. And so literally, it was like a tank top that I'm wearing now, like a workout outfit. And I remember chasing her through the mall going, give me back my shirt, give me back my shirt. And just being horrified and devastated and embarrassed and wondering literally afraid of what was going to happen to me. Isn't that horrible? I look back and I have to say, I'm sorry, little Zan, that you felt that scared and that unsure about your own body. And she just laughed and thought it was hilarious because, it was like, she was like, why? Why are you so afraid? And I was like, I don't know. I didn't know at the time. So that's where I kind of progressed through life. And my goal was to blend into the background as much as possible. As I got a bit older, I never necessarily dressed poorly. I did when I was younger, because I didn't know, like when I started college, because I'd moved away from home, had no money, job, whatnot. That's another story. Thank you, Friendship Center, for making sure I had clothes on my back. But I never dressed bad. I just tried to cover my body up as much as I could. And to the point that I dressed so conservatively that I was at a funeral one time for a dear friend, and one of their children's boyfriends, who was, they're probably 15 years younger than I am, maybe a little more, thought that I was a nun at the funeral, that I was there with the father. And why? Because I had this long black wool coat that I wore that literally was buttoned from my neck, went down to my ankles, like a Matrix coat, or like some, I don't know, the Dementors or whatever from Harry Potter. Like literally, I had a cape on, a thick, and I would button it all the way to the top. I'd have the waistband done up, and the bottom was a big trumpet bottom. So it literally looked like a habit, probably. And so everyone thought that was a big laugh. And I was like, oh my goodness, huh? But it just wasn't the clothes. It was my demeanor. It was me just, literally my hands pressed together, just trying to make everyone like me, not be upset with me, think I was okay, think I was a good person. It has so much to do with how I felt on the inside. So that's what I tried to do for so long, until it started out getting into a good relationship, and I met my amazing husband, Corey. And I finally had a man that I felt safe with for the first time. I'd had my dad's, but that was different, right? Like being allowing myself to feel safe sexually around someone. I'd never felt that way. And he just was a good person, and I knew that. So that's why, to me, it's just not personally, it's physically, sexually. You need to surround yourself with good people, your spark team, the people that build you up, that make you feel safe, that make you feel beautiful. But that whatever you do, it's okay, and they're there for you. And that's what my boyfriend, and then became my husband, Corey, did. And I'd never felt that way with anyone before. and I could start to experiment with myself, my sexuality, the way I dressed, and even literally changing my posture after, because even the chiropractor that I went to, because I said, I'm tired of being hunched over all the time. And she said, it's going to be really difficult for you to change that. And so I've spent a year really standing up straight. And I'm telling you, I've had neck problems. I've had shoulder problems. And I know it's literally from retraining my muscles to stand up like this instead of being like being hunched over all the time and being proud. And this is my body. This is who I am. And so I've been literally causing myself physical pain, retraining my body, but I don't care. It's no worse than the pain I think that I felt mentally for so many years of not being myself, not feeling this way that I feel right now. Okay. And so then I started doing those types of things. I also got into fitness, right? I started to build my body with fitness and food and positivity. And then, to be honest with you, and I think a lot of people know that I've done some surgery on my body. I've had a tummy tuck. I had a boob lift. I got a lip lift. I've had a little bit of Botox done. I've had a little bit of filler done. But hopefully I don't look totally different. Let me know if I look totally different to you, please. Or, just, and not that that even matters. I'm happy with myself right now, right? And people say, really, you've had something done? Or, oh, I would never have anything done. And I'm like, well, good for you. I'm so happy that you feel that content with yourself, inside of yourself and who you are. For me, I wanted to feel, I spent my whole life not feeling great. And now I want to feel great. Do you know what I mean? I don't ever want to be shy or ashamed of myself anymore. I want to lean into that part of myself. And that a lot too. It's funny. I got to do another shout out. It's, surrounding yourself with the right people. And it's amazing. Some of my dearest friends, my best friends, you're all out there. But my newest group of friends, where I absolutely almost love them as 1,000 people, 1,600 people, are my 80s and the Sands friends that I go, the festival that I go to every year for 80s music in Mexico now. Those people, man, I am the queen of the cuckoos, my friends. I am putting myself out there. I am living as loud and as passionately and as much joy as I possibly can. And they love me and they accept me. Thank you, guys. I love you. I love every one of you so much. Right? That's so much of it. Surrounding yourself with the right people who aren't going to go, oh, who do you think you are? Oh, look at that. Now my attitude, if somebody is dissing me because they think, oh, who does she think she is in that outfit? Well, then my attitude is, put that outfit on repeat, babies, because I must be doing something right if I'm getting that attention on myself. Why be shy? But that's what I would do, is jam myself back in the closet, burn those clothes. The fact is, today, that's part of my business. It's part of my brand. I wear clothes and I work on my hair. I'm working on getting out of my comfort zone instead of my same old ponytail and my workout clothes every day, because I just want to blend in. Now I wear clothes that I feel match what's on the inside. The inside and the outside are starting to match. Do you feel that way, that you're ever out of alignment with who you really are? I feel like myself. For the first time in my life, I absolutely love myself. Do I still deal with body and facial dysmorphia? Tremendously. The surgeries, the all the things. Every time you get something changed, you go, wow, it is amazing, but your brain needs to catch up to it. And that, thankfully, I've got a good surgeon, Dr. Malpass in town, and his staff, my friend Belinda. They really keep me, and Janice, they really keep me focused on, no, just give yourself time to get used to yourself. Because I think that's where people get addicted to, I need to do something different, because I get a little antsy now and then, and thanks for talking me down, guys, at Vitality. But even now, we got to get used to ourselves, and we got to take small steps. Small steps are great, right? But that's what I'm saying to you. Whatever it is that you need to do, and it may be going on medications, it may be starting to exercise, it may be exercising less, eating more, eating less, changing what you eat. It may be hanging out with new people. It may be getting surgery. It may be getting some amazing laser work done from my girl, Belinda, at Vitality. The fact is, people are going to judge you one way or another. And I want to choose to be judged for what I feel on the inside, how I feel, judged or whatever. I don't care. There's people that are going to love you and there's people that are going to hate you, no matter what you do. Well, you know what? I'd rather the people that love me a lot. Why? Because I am who I am. I'm living my best life. I'm doing my thing. I'm role modeling and I'm acting on all the things that I'm yapping about every week and in my life. I want everyone to know that. And so that they can see that they can do it too. Right? So I want that for you. And like I said, it's just, I want to stand out now. I'm tired. I've spent my whole life and I don't want to say, oh, for my age, I look good, or I'm even tired of that. I want all of us to get rid of all of our ageist terms and discussion about it. And I'm so tired. I just want to feel good. I want all of us to be happy, whatever age we are right now. Because really, the fact is, it's all relative. And I want to live the rest of my life as happy and joyfully, passionately, as and excited as I want to. Okay? Because, man, I don't want to look like the nun anymore. I mean, what the fuck? What is that, you guys? I think I look a little bit more vibrant than that. I shouldn't put down, I'm sure there's some rockin' nuns out there. Sorry, ladies. But you know what I'm saying. I'm not ready for that yet, and that's not who I am. Okay? I want you to live passionately, choose you. And if you're not sure how, tune in, honey, reach out, send me a message and let me know. What can I help you to do to turn that up in your life? And one of those things that I have a tool that I'm going to be offering, it's time, I've mentioned it before, my women's visioning retreat. And really, it's strategic planning. It's figuring out, it's incorporating all these things we're talking about. It's coming up with a vision, mission, values, and a strategic plan for you to start implementing your life. Don't worry, everybody else. I got to start with one group. So that's where I'm starting. My goal is to have retreats all year round, all over the world for everyone. All right. But I need to start somewhere. So it's going to be my women's visioning retreat. And it's going to be really about creating a strategic plan for your life. And creating a spark team, joining with other women. It's going to be about a group of 18, maybe less. We'll see how it goes, how my turnout is. I'm still working on all the pricing and things like that. But if this is something you're interested in and you'd like to get more information, I finally have a contact list where you can sign up for our email that's going to come out, that's going to give any of the details about the retreat. The retreat is going to be at an amazing place called Tainamera. Tigh, one word, Na, two words, Mara is a third word. It is in the amazing, beautiful on Vancouver Island, Parksville. And I'm telling you, this is luxury accommodations. We are on the ocean. I promise you, you've been to a lot of places. This is going to rank as one of the most beautiful places in the world that you've ever been to if you haven't been there. And we are going to go deep. We are going to start talking about these things that I've done in my life that have made the difference, that have got me here today. And if that's an interest for you, I would love for you to come and join us and be a part of my Spark team. Because that's really what it is. I want to call these people to me that I need. This just isn't for you. This is about my growth. This is about all of us turning it up and evolving into that next confident, sexy version of ourselves. And by sexy, I don't just mean looking sexy. I mean feeling and acting so that you call the people that you deserve to you. So I mean sexy thinking, sexy acting. What I'm talking about is inspiring. I'm talking about charisma. I'm talking about pulling your spark team towards you. Does that sound intriguing? Does that sound exciting? Oh, and don't even get me started about the food. Everything's going to be included. You're just going to have to get yourself to the Nanaimo airport, Nanaimo, BC. That's the closest one to Parksville. And then I'm going to have shuttles that are going to be bringing you from that airport to the resort. And once you get off that plane in Nanaimo, my friend, you are going to step into that next best version of yourself and have that support, that direction, that framework for you. And we're going to go as far as actually deciding what habits do you need to start implementing You're going to start implementing them. You're going to schedule it out in your calendar. We're going to get our calendars out and even start saying, when am I going to exercise? When am I going to start writing my book? When am I going to work on my business? When am I going to start meeting that person in my life that is going to light me up? So this is about execution. This isn't about a lot of it, it isn't necessarily a counseling session. So you need to come ready to work. You need to come with a little bit of a mindset that you deserve this and that you're ready for this, because we just don't have the time. There's going to be if this doesn't feel like it fits for you, don't worry about it. I'm going to have other retreats that are going to happen. Some even locally here where I live in Prince George, and maybe in your community. So let me know if it's something you're interested as well. Reach out to me and say, come to wherever you live, and let's see what we can do, baby. You can be one of my affiliates who helps me fill a room. So go to my website, zandraross.ca. Get on my email list, please, so that you can be the first. I already have about 10 of the spots filled, and I haven't even started advertising it yet. So I'm just going to let you know that. I've got some really great, amazing women that have already said, whatever you do, Zan, we're on the way. So the wait list is not very long, right? It's going to be long shortly if you don't get in there and get your name on it. So don't worry about it. No harassment, but I promise you, get your name on the list, because that is where I'm going to release all of the details first before I jump onto Facebook and do another live about it. So stay tuned next week as well, and to my next episode, because I will probably have all the details then to tell you if you're not on my email list. But those of you that are getting on my email list, go there now. Get excited, my friends, because of course, I'm going to have some bonuses for my early signers, my pay in full. I'm going to have a payment plan for it. So come check us out. All right. Choose you, live sexy, baby. That's what this is all about. I want you to lean in. I'm so glad that you tuned in with me. And yes, thank you, everybody. Going to remind you, sit up, stand tall. This isn't just about being sexy. This is about you marching into your future, showing on the outside what it is that you want to accomplish. Because sometimes it's hard to change our mindset all the time. But I want you to stand up straight. Even look at my shoulders. They're even unbalanced. I'm usually like this. This one's up, crunched up into my neck, but I've been really focused on sitting up straight. Okay? Mwah! Love you. Let me know. What do you think? Tune into this episode, and baby, go get on my wait list. I beg you. I've also got a newsletter list. So for any of you that you don't fit this retreat, there's 2 links for you. One to click to get on the wait list or the email list for the retreat. And then another one's just general information. All right. Love you, baby. We will talk to you soon. And let me know how you're doing, because today is the first day of the rest of your life, darling. So talk to you.